everybody, my name is Ashley Rush and I'm an independent creative memories advisor located in North Carolina. Today I'm continuing my series on how to use your scraps. If you're not familiar with it, make sure you guys check out the other videos. They seem to be a fan favorite. So how many times do you guys go to create a layout, follow a project recipe, make a card, whatever, and it involves cutting down your full 12 by 12 sheet of paper? What do you end up doing with all of those strips? Sometimes it's tempting to just throw them away, but that would be like throwing away money and nobody wants that. So today I'm going to teach you guys how to take those strips of paper and turn them into a beautiful scrapbook layout. If you enjoy this video, you may want to check out my class links because I am hosting a How to Use Your Scraps page completion class in March and I still have space. The best part is you get to use your own stash, so you'll be making room for new stuff in the process. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. To complete this project, you're going to need your 12-inch trimmer. You're going to use your repositionable tape runner. I feel like that one actually works the best. You're going to need a pile of scraps. Mine are all 12 inches long and they're anywhere from 1.5 inches wide to 9 inches wide. And actually I have a 12-inch full sheet as well because I wanted to bring in another color. They don't all need to be from the same collection, but you do want to make sure they coordinate. And then you're going to need a 12 by 12 sheet to use as your base. I'm just going to use a piece of charcoal cardstock. Let's go ahead and get started. What we need is essentially 7 strips that are 1.5 inch wide. So I'm just going to pull out rando strips and I'm going to cut them down until I have 7 that are 1.5 inches. You want 7 different patterns, but you can make this work with less. So here is my first strip. And I'm just going to set this at the top when I'm finished. Let's see. You know what? No, I'm going to save this one because I think I have a repeat. Yep, I have a repeat right here, and I'm fairly certain this one's already 3 inches. So I only need to cut once. So now I have a second and a third. This one might be my skinniest. I'm fairly certain it is already, yep, already 1.5 inches. So I have 4. I don't really want to use the reverse of that side, so I'm going to set it aside and I'm going to pull in this one. Six. All right, and then there's 7. Once you have 7 strips that are 1.5 inches long, you can set your trimmer aside. You no longer need it. And you don't need any more of those extra scraps as well. You just need your 7 strips as well as your base paper. So now we are just going to lay out our strips and make a bit of a background for ourselves. It doesn't matter the order. You're going to have a little bit of a thicker spacing at the top and bottom of your base page. And then everything else will be relatively evenly spaced after that. Now we're just going to work on adhering those strips down. This is why I really suggest you use the Repositionable, because if you decide you don't like the way they're spaced, you're able to peel the layers back up and put them back down. You've now created a unique base for your photos. So one simple way to add photos to this is you can add a couple of 4x6 photos here. And then you have a couple of spots for some 3x4 photos, or maybe you make these journaling or title areas. Now how cool is that? You can also give this a turn and flip your photos so it works in either direction. So the cool thing is these are almost all exclusively scraps from my project recipe video last week. So nothing is wasted when you're cutting things. I just store them in my Power Project folders, and I make sure to pull them out when I'm ready to do a new, excuse me, a new layout. This is also a great way to use scraps from collections that are maybe have gone while supplies last or that are no longer available. You've just got a bunch of odds and ends left over. Instead of throwing them out, make yourself a really cool, unique background and use them that way. So as I said, you can do this in either direction with either parallel lines or vertical lines. You can also turn this into a 2-page spread. So let me move this one out. This is from the Emerald Gemstone collection that has just gone while supplies last. I'm not gonna repurchase the stuff that I have on hand. I've been using it for other things, and I just wanted to sort of use up my scraps. And here you guys can see it as a 2-page spread. Now maybe you've got thinner strips. Or you don't have 12-inch long strips. That's okay too. You can make that work. I did that with my next example. So this is Art Nouveau. also just recently went while supplies last. With here, I had 1-inch strips from a project I had done, and they weren't all 12 inches, so I went ahead and cut them. I think they're all now 11 inches, and I offset them. If they all weren't the same length, that would be okay too. You could still offset them and get a really cool look. I'm using the same structure for my photo mats here, and as you can see, I've added some embellishments. Now, this one you can still rotate and do it either horizontal or vertical lines. So what did you guys think of that project? It may have been my fastest video yet. It was so quick and easy, and it's so easy to do with a million different collections, and they don't even all have to be from a single collection, just a couple scraps of coordinating paper and you've got yourself a beautiful layout. So this one was one of my favorites. I love the idea of doing that single photo there at the top, having a place to journal. I don't know if you're like me, I usually like to put as many photos as I can on a piece of, on like a scrapbook page. But every now and again you come across those photos that you only have like 1 or 2 and it's hard to figure out what to do with them. I'm not a super overly flowery girl. I know that's what lots of people do, is they'll just throw down a bunch of flowers and then a single photo and it looks gorgeous, but it's not my style. Did you guys have a favorite? Did you like the Wanderlust ones from my project recipe? Did you like the Art Nouveau with the thinner offset strips, or did you guys like the Emerald Gemstone? The Art Nouveau and the Emerald Gemstone have been some of my favorite collections, so I'm sad to see them go, but I'm so glad that I'm getting to use all of that stuff up. Well, thank you guys all for tuning in. If you guys are looking to connect, make sure you find me on Facebook or Instagram, where I post daily content. And if you're in the United States, make sure you guys ask me about my VIP group. I'm revamping it and making a really cool place to hang out. If you'd like more inspiration, make sure you check out my events. I offer in-person and virtual events, so there is something for everybody out there. And as always, if you are looking for creative memory supplies, I invite you to shop from my link. And if you love it all, just have to have it, and you are bursting at the seams to share, I'd love to talk to you about joining my team. Thank you guys all for tuning in. I'll see you next week. Bye.